games though, so we'll have to talk about that later. Before I talk about the varsity, so how we're going to do this is when I call you up, I want you to stand next to me. When I'm done, I want you to stay up here and just either go down there or down there, it doesn't matter. And then when we're done, the whole team will be up there. Got it? All right, perfect. Before I get into individuals, I want to do a couple of team accomplishments that we had this year as a varsity team. First one, best regular season record since the 2010-2011 season, which was 11 years ago. The most wins since the 2010-2011 season. Same number of total wins this year as the previous 3 seasons combined. One of only 2 double-digit win seasons since 2011. Started 5-0 for the first time since 2010-2011 season. First time beating Eisenhower since 2013. But the most impressive thing that we did as a team this year was we had a team GPA of 3.75. I'm a basketball coach. I love basketball more than a lot of other things. But to see you guys bringing in a 3.75 as a team is one of the main things I'm taking away from this year. So you guys put in work on the court, as we just heard, but you guys put in even more work in the classroom. So thank you for that. So let's give them a hand for that 3.75. Okay, first person, freshie, Hannah Tamu. I have a very high level of respect for Hannah because it's not easy going from 8th grade basketball directly to varsity basketball. And of all the wonderful talents that she has with basketball, and you saw her MJ dance moves, and her amazing artwork as well. I don't know if you guys have seen her artwork. But her determination, her never give up attitude, and her willingness to take on any and every challenge is, I think, what really makes her who she really is. She did an amazing job this year. I asked her for a lot, come in from 8th grade and play against Sydney Hewer every day in practice. That's a very tough job. Very tough job. She never complained. She worked so hard, and I just want to thank you. And I'm so grateful that I have her for 3 more years. Hannah Tamu. Madison Kaiser. Don't get it twisted. Don't be fooled by her stature. She is a bulldog. She is a straight bulldog. I had to. One thing about Maddie, we're gonna talk about basketball in a minute, maybe. But one thing about Maddie is I literally have to always be on point when it comes to Maddie. If I use the wrong verb tense, if I stutter at all, if my gear isn't right, if it's not matching in practice, if I miss a layup, if I'm just messing around, I will hear about it from Maddie. So I have to make sure that I'm always on point when she's around, or she'll talk about me. What I love about Maddie is she was always ready to work. She was always ready to go in. She was always ready to do whatever was asked. And the night we lost to Ford, she texted me, I was still at Lance Cruz High School. And she texted me Coach, I'm ready to put in work. I'm ready to be the leader of this team next year. I'm ready to get my skill up. I'm ready to do this and do that. I was like, we just lost 6 seconds ago. And she's already texting me. And I'm just so thankful for that. I know that she's serious about what she said, and she's going to put in the work to be one of the leaders of this team next year. And I see her as a future captain of this team. So thank you, Madison. I would say, unique approach to the game. She's like very like analytical. She's very like specific. I don't know what it is, but when it comes to coaching, she made me a better coach because she wanted to know like specifically what she needed to do. And if I didn't say what she needed to do like exactly, then she would stop practice and say, wait. You didn't tell me exactly what I need to do. Back it up. You need to explain more. And at first I was like, I've never like had that in a player, but it made me a better coach because I have to be more intentional about being specific when I'm coaching. And Mara is the one that brought that out of me. She was such a leader that if I said something in practice and let's say she did understand it, but she didn't think someone else understood it, she would ask the question for the other person. Like that's such a leader. That's such a leadership quality that a lot of people don't have, and I don't think you can really teach that. It just comes with you. So I'm just thankful that I have Mara for another 2 years. She's going to be a very, very, very important part of this team. She already was, but even more so these next 2 years. And I also see her as a future leader, captain of this team, and I'm just excited to work with you for 2 more years. Mara Erkin. Celine 12. I personally would argue that she's probably the funniest on the team. I said I'd argue. All right, we'll talk about it later. But I think that every team needs a Celine. Every single team needs a Celine, no matter what level. She has a great personality, a very vibrant spirit, and she is very rarely seen without a smile on her face, as you can see right now. She's always smiling, always happy. She didn't play as much as she would have liked, but she never gave up. She never, ever once complained, and whenever her name was called, she jumped up and was ready to go in at the drop of a dime. She's definitely one of the hardest workers on the team, and I know she's going to put a lot of work in this summer to be a very, very important person on the team on the court next year. And I'm excited for her, and I can't wait for the stories 1 year from today that we'll have about how great she got and how much better she got and how important she was and how many points she averaged and minutes she averaged. And we'll talk about how junior year she, was a little upset, but senior year was huge. And I can see that happening 1 year from now. So Celine, thank you so much. Gabby. Tell me. It's like 4 Gabbies in my shoulder. First of all, Gabby is a very tough young lady. She's mentally tough, she's physically tough, and one thing I admire about Gabby is her work ethic. The reason for that is that, and this goes for everybody, there's always going to be someone bigger. There's always going to be someone, faster or better or whatever. But one thing that you can control is how hard you work. And that is something that Gabby brought to the table every single practice, every single game. When she stepped out on the court, she gave 100%. Period. And that is the thing that I love most about you, Gabby. She didn't play as much as she wanted either. And while one might be mad or upset or whatever, her mindset is, I'm going to work extra hard and I'm going to do whatever it takes. So when my time comes, I am going to be ready for it and I'm not going to waste it. So I know she's going to put a lot of work in this summer, and she's going to be a huge, huge part of this team next year. So I'm very excited for our work together this summer, and I'm glad we have 1 more year together, Gabby. Thank you so much.